Hi, welcome to day 3 of the What's the Stitch challenge. Today I am wearing my pair of skinny jeans, my black pleather jacket, and my Beyond the Label t-shirt. And Beyond the Label is an education group that goes around the country and teaches people about the sourcing of fashion and how it negatively impacts the planet and people. And I also wore my little black boots this morning. So today I am going to go a little bit into how to properly care for your clothes. So in terms of washing your clothing, it's always better to wash your clothing less. It's going to last longer the less you wash it. So wearing your clothing more than once before washing it, if it's something that doesn't get very dirty, jeans are a good example, skirts, things that you aren't sweating a lot in, like exercise clothes and undergarments obviously need to be washed every time you wear them, but certain other items don't need to be washed every time you wear them. And that can be a really positive impact for the environment, because not only does washing your clothes cause them to wear out faster, it also obviously uses a lot of water, and drying your clothes in a dryer uses a ton of energy. In terms of when you do wash your clothes, it's really, really important to make sure you pay attention to care labels on your clothing, because those care labels are what tells you how to make sure your clothes last as long as they possibly can. So I know that those labels a lot of times just have those little laundry symbols on them that none of us recognize. So what I'm going to do today is go through the 5 main symbols that you're going to see on that clothing. So the first one is for washers. It looks like a little bucket with usually some water in it, kind of a squiggly line. And when you see that symbol, it means that something can be machine washed. If you see that symbol with an X through it, it means that that thing cannot be machine washed. And that symbol with an X a lot of times is coming along with another one of those symbols, either with a hand over the bucket, meaning you should hand wash it, or a circle, which means that you should dry clean that item. So if you see that bucket, you know that you can put it in your washer. And the 2 main symbols that you're going to see modifying that bucket are the temperature, which is usually either written in degrees Celsius inside. So for example, it might say 30, meaning to wash it in cold water, 30 degrees Celsius, or you might see a single dot, which means to wash it again in cold water. And that dot system for washing goes up to 6, but anything 3 or above is going to be hot water. So if your machine doesn't let you set a very specific temperature, you're going to be looking for anything 3 or above to just be on your hot setting. And 2, of course, is then medium or warm water. And a lot of times you may also see the temperatures in place of those dots. Underneath the bucket, every once in a while, you might see a line or 2 lines stacked or next to each other. If you see a single line, that means you should put that item on the permanent press setting on your washer, and 2 lines means either gentle or delicate. And those are both settings on your washer that you should pay attention to, because obviously those delicate items, those permanent press items, are going to be negatively impacted by using just a normal cotton or general setting on your washer. The next common symbol you might see right after that bucket is going to be a triangle. So the triangle symbol is referring to whether or not you can bleach an item. So if something can be bleached, you will see an open white triangle. If something can be bleached with non-chlorine bleach, that triangle will have a few lines in it. And that means that you can use bleach, but only non-chlorine bleach. And finally, if you can't bleach an item, there will either be an X to that triangle, or the triangle will be filled in also with an X. The next thing to look for is dryer symbols. The square is the dryer symbol, and if it has a circle in it, that means that it is the tumble dry symbol. So you can tumble dry something if you see a square with a circle inside of it. And that has similar temperature settings as the washer symbol does. If you see a single dot, that means tumble dry low. That's probably the one you'll see most often, but you also may see 2 or 3 dots, meaning either a medium or high temperature setting on your dryer. Some alternate symbols you might see if you can't dry something. You'll first see the dryer symbol but with an X through it, and then you may see something, a line dry symbol has a droopy line inside the square. The drip symbol has 3 vertical lines. The dry flat symbol has 1 horizontal line. And you may see accompanied with any of those alternative drying methods some diagonal lines in the upper left corner of that box, which means that you should line dry or drip dry in the shade. One final symbol you might see for a dryer is the no heat symbol. When you see that, it will be the dryer symbol, but the circle will be filled in rather than just having a dot in the center. So if your dryer has a no heat option, you may be able to just tumble or air dry within your dryer. If it doesn't, that means that's also something you might want to line dry or drip dry. Also similar to washer symbols, you may see those lines underneath the dryer symbol for permanent press or delicates, and those are again the same as the washer symbols. Finally, the last symbol you may see on your clothing is the iron symbol. It looks like a small little iron with a little handle, and if you see that, it means that something can be ironed, and it'll have, again, the same system of temperature settings, 1, 2, or 3 dots for low, medium, and high. And if it has an X through it, it again means that you shouldn't iron. One other thing you might see is if there's a small X below the iron symbol, it might just mean that you can iron that item, but you shouldn't use steam. And finally, as I talked about before, if you see this circle, it means that something is dry clean only. There are plenty of other symbols modifying the dry clean. There are different kinds of solvents signified by letters on the inside, and different lines in different places around the circle mean different things. But if you're taking an item in to be dry cleaned, chances are the professional who will be dry cleaning your item knows what those symbols mean and can interpret them for you. So that's just a quick overview of all of the symbols you might see on your tag about care instructions, washing instructions. So hopefully you can utilize those now to make sure you take better care of your clothes so that they last you longer and you get a better environmental use out of them. Thanks for watching day 3 of What's the Stitch. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye!